Hello and welcome to the Leverage Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Richard, and we are really pleased to have another travel agent with us today to learn about things going on with Disney and all the travel options that they have. Angela Wheeler, it's a pleasure to have you on with us on the podcast today. Welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, give us a little bit of background about you. We met through our Courageous Business networking group, and it's been wonderful to get to know you better and understand what your business is all about. So give us a little bit of background on you and how you got into this particular area of expertise.
Okay, well, I'm originally from Florida, and I in my business, I specialize in Disney and Universal Studios in my travel business, and so my love for Disney started when I was young. I've been visiting the park since I was 3.
Wow.
We used to go about once a month to visit them. I can remember when it was just Magic Kingdom, and I can remember them building Epcot Center and then eventually Animal Kingdom. And I remember when Hollywood Studios was actually MGM. So, but I moved here to Missouri, 19 years old. So I've been here actually longer than I lived there. And I thought about being a travel agent off and on throughout the years, but I always thought that I wouldn't be able to succeed in it. I thought that it was something that was going to be out of reach. However, with the internet and Facebook and Instagram, things like that, I really feel like that it has made the job easier in some respects, more attainable to reach people. I have a passion for travel. I have a passion for all things Disney. That is really where my niche is, where my heart is through Disney. But yeah, I mean, basically, I just felt like I came back home, if that makes sense. Since I had been going to the parks all my life, when I finally decided to step out of my comfort zone and to become a travel agent, I really felt like I was coming back home, that I had found something that I was passionate about and that I loved doing,
So
if
when
that makes
did
sense.
you re-enter the market or enter the market and being a travel agent? What year did you do that?
So I was working as a hairstylist at Nixa Hair Studio. That's what got me into CBC with the network marketing group. And I was working behind the chair doing hair, and I had a client, and she's getting ready to take her 3-year-old to Disney. And so I'm telling her like all the places to go, how to use. Back then it was Genie Plus. Right now it's the Lightning Lane multi-pass system. But back then it was Genie Plus, and I'm telling her how to use it, and I'm telling her the restaurants, and I'm asking her where she's staying at. And she was staying on property, so I'm telling her, oh, you need to book your dining reservations 60 days out. And I'm just giving her all these tips and tricks. And she's saying, you should be a travel agent for Disney. You would do really good. And I got to thinking, well, why don't I? So I got to talking to Kat because I didn't know how to become a travel agent. I didn't know what to do. And Kat put me in contact with somebody that I could talk to, somebody that she trusted. So I knew I could trust them. And she got me connected with a really good host group. And the rest is history. I mean, that's all I needed was for somebody to point me in the right direction.
That's so cool. And yes, anybody that knows Cat Williams loves Cat Williams, right? So I mean,
Yes.
she is just you might say the cat's meow of connecting, okay? To use a pun, but yes, definitely love what she's doing. She has a passion for that, and well, I'm excited to see that. It's been the things you talked about. I'm 63. I remember leaving Hartford, Connecticut, driving to Florida when Epcot first opened. I remember going down there as a kid, and my parents, would take us there. My mother, or excuse me, my grandfather and my grandmother lived not too far from Orlando, actually. And that, did you live outside Orlando, or where did you live when you were down
I
there?
lived in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah, it
they.
was a four hour drive to get there. But funny enough, is my dad always liked to travel and he liked to fly.
Okay.
And so sometimes we would actually fly into Orlando. It's about a 30-minute flight, 4 hour drive. So
Yeah, yeah, we would vacation. Well, when we go down, my father or my, I was going to say my father, my grandfather and grandmother lived in Stewart, Florida. Do you happen to know where Stewart is by chance, or
I do not.
um, Port Salerno? It's on the Intercoastal Canal north of Fort Lauderdale. Anyway, they would take us around there, and so that was very cool, obviously, and I had a chance to go back several times in my life. And I never lived in Florida, but I vacationed there quite often with them. And then I got to go to Pensacola and some other places. But in your travel, it sounds like you've been consistent with your passion about it and with Disney. And of course, Disney's evolved over the years. Like you say, they've added things and there've been new opportunities as they go. And I'm sure probably as you're booking this travel, that you're even discovering new things that they're doing, now. So what's some of the latest things that you've been booking people on as far as Disney adventures and that type of thing? What's been the latest you've seen?
I've been doing multi-generational families um quite a bit where grandma is wanting to take her kids, but she's wanting to take her grandkids.
Yes.
I'm seeing a lot of that. When I went to my travel training a few months ago, they were actually saying that that was up, that the multi-generational travel is what people are into right now. So that's what I've been seeing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I could see that. One of my friends actually is on one of those trips right now. They're at I think at Universal Studios today, actually, with their grandson,
A lot of
and
fun.
and
Yeah.
experiencing that. And so, yeah, definitely, I could see that. And the baby boomers want to, they're freed
They
up
want to see
now.
their
Usually,
grandbabies.
they
Yep.
want to see the grandbabies.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep, I've got my three grandbabies coming down. They're not babies anymore, but they're, and that type of thing. So there's so many exciting things that Disney has to offer. Can you kind of outline for somebody that may not know all the opportunities with Disney? What you mentioned earlier, just, river cruises. I didn't even know they had
Yep.
river cruises. Can you kind of talk
Yep.
about the different categories of experiences that for travel that they have?
So Disney has what you call Adventures by Disney, and you can actually visit the world, land, sea, and the riverboat cruises. On the riverboat, they partner with AMA Waterways. Um, it looks like it's pretty awesome. I mean, that's one of my bucket lists right there, is one of those riverboat cruises. They also do National Geographic cruises, which I find pretty amazing, but they own National Geographic as well. So, I mean, pretty much anywhere in the world that you want to go, Disney can take you there. There's actually a ride, a lot of people may know about it, called Soarin' Around the World. And whenever you're on it, they're actually showing you the places that they can take you.
Is that
So,
is that in Universal Studios? Is that a virtual ride?
Soarin' is at Epcot, I do
What is?
believe. I,
Okay. Okay.
yes, yes. Soarin' is at Epcot. I think you're thinking of what is that other one that is? Nope, that one's at Animal Kingdom at Pandora. Um, yeah, it's at Epcot Center.
It's been a while since I've been to
Yeah,
Universal Studios. So, I think the last
yeah,
time I was there, it
yeah.
was,
Uni
well,
yeah,
yeah, it's been a
Universal's
while.
different than Disney.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then now do they own that or no? Is
Nope,
that oh, it's not owned by
nope,
them. Oh, I was thinking
no.
it was owned by
It
them.
is
Okay.
not. Uh-uh.
Okay. So let's talk about river cruises for a second. So that's on your bucket list. What what things could they see on a river tour? Where do they go? Where do they take you? What are the opportunities there?
What you can go through Europe. You can see castles on those. You can do the Christmas markets. I mean, there are lots of opportunity with those. Um, Let me just look at something real quick.
Sure. So like the castles, is that like around Ireland or something, or where would that be?
You can see castles in Ireland for sure. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I sent you something. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to
Oh, it's
send that
okay.
to myself. I cannot pronounce the word, but Danube,
Danube,
um,
the Danube.
yes, that was the
Yes.
one that I was trying to think of a while ago. The Danube River boat cruise is the one that I'm actually wanting to go on. Yes.
That sounds super
So,
exciting. So,
yeah.
how how long are those cruises in general, and do you have a like a starting point and an ending point, what they might where they might go?
They're going to probably be multiple day in range from multiple days. You might take a 7 day one or longer, and then you can also do add-ons onto those.
Nice, nice. Okay.
Yes.
That's pretty neat. So, all right. Well, that was a whole area I didn't even realize Disney had
Yeah.
going on. And then now, as far as I recently got off of the Margaritaville uh, Paradise, as I mentioned to you a couple weeks ago. I was there and I saw a Disney cruise boat, beautiful, right there in the Bahamas and that kind of thing. And are you seeing anything different in the Disney cruises here lately?
They
That seems
have
like it'd
new
be really good. Go ahead. Sorry.
they have new ships that they are doing. I think all cruise industries are making new ships. Cruising is really hot right now, and it seems like they
Yes,
can't build the cruise ships fast enough for the people to take those cruises. So,
and they're getting
yeah,
bigger
they
and bigger,
have,
aren't they?
yep, they are bigger and bigger, bigger and better.
Bigger and better. Yeah. More things to do. It's like your own Silver Dollar City or something on some of them. It seems like, you got all
It's
the rides and the water
They're
slides,
absolutely
and
huge. Yes.
it's unbelievable.
So
And
yeah.
yeah. So let's talk about the land opportunities, the between the parks and that. So, and I think that's one of your favorite areas to book people in as well, isn't it?
Yes, and it is one of the ones that I know more about,
Very good.
honestly. I have booked a couple of Disney cruises. I've booked the Wish, going to Cozumel, and the Castaway Cay, things like that. I have not jumped on board the riverboat cruising yet, but when you talk about the parks, that's where you're speaking my language.
All right. Well, let's talk in depth about the park, shall we? Let's
Yeah.
talk about those. So, maybe start with what's the most common, if there is a common request slash thing that you're booking as far as the land opportunities.
So, like you're talking going to the parks, the Disney
Yeah, yeah,
World parks.
parks.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What I'm mostly seeing right now is people wanting to take that multi-generational trip, and they're looking for value. However, I've noticed that they are wanting to stay on property, or at least my clients are wanting to stay on property because they are wanting to have the convenience of the transportation back and forth to the parks. Typically, when I set somebody up, you just went away. Are you still there?
I am still here. Yes.
Okay, you're back. That is so okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So typically when I'm setting somebody up, I'm setting them up with like a week trip on property. Um, 4 day or 4 day hopper pass. So that way they can jump from park to park. And what I try to do is I try to cater that more tailored to their family. So when I'm looking at a multi-generational trip, I'm looking at, are do they want to stay close together as a family? Are they wanting more than one room? If they're wanting, like I did one that was at Caribbean Beach Resort, which I mean it is massive. That resort is just, it is spread out. And I know that grandma had some mobility issues. So I knew I wanted to keep them close to the Skyliner and close to the busing system. Yeah, you're going to walk, but Disney also has wheelchairs and, things like that. But I wanted to keep them close to that transportation. So Disney will try their best to get that for you, but they can't promise it. But I've never had a problem where they didn't deliver. But basically that's what I try to do is I try to find out what they want and try to cater that to them.
Very
If that
good.
makes sense.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. And so, talk a little bit about the on property. Is it a like an all inclusive sort of idea, or how does that part work?
You can make it as inclusive as you can with the Disney dining plan. There are options, of course, with the dining plan, but it is an extra cost. Um, I will be honest, sometimes it is not always cost effective. Disney's into making money. But if you but if you are a type of person that you don't want to have to worry about it, basically what you're doing is you're taking those meals and you're paying for them ahead of time. Is it going to be cheaper doing it that way? Probably not. But if you don't want to have to worry about getting your wallet out or charging it to your room, any of that, any of that, then it could be a good idea for you. However, sometimes they're running specials. So I know that they were running for 2026 that if you purchase an adult dining plan, you get a child's dining plan free. And sometimes then the math does make sense. So, I mean, and again, I tailor that to whatever my clients want, but I try to let them know up front because I would like to know up front, is this a deal or is this just something that I'm going to get out of convenience?
Very
So, and
good.
most of the time you're paying for that out of convenience. So,
Sure.
yeah.
And how many parks are there now, and what are they? In let's
In
talk about
Orlando,
Florida first. Yeah,
yeah, Florida has your four parks. It has Magic Kingdom, Epcot, um, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom, and then they have their water parks. Um, in California, they have two parks, and I'm getting ready to go visit there in October. So I'm really, really excited about that. They have parks in Paris. They have Tokyo Disney. I think they have two in Tokyo, and they have parks in Hong Kong. However, as a travel agent and with my host group with Disney, I am not allowed to book Tokyo.
I see.
Tokyo is different. It is not necessarily owned by Disney, and I don't know how all the legalities work for that one. So I pretty much stay with Orlando is the one that I book the most. And that is the one I think that people think about most of the time when they think
Yes.
about taking a Disney vacation.
Yes, and I remember this has been a long time ago, but probably like the late '90s. They had Main Street Disney in Anaheim. Is that still a thing out there?
Anaheim, yes, they have two parks
Okay,
in
that's what I was thinking.
California.
Okay,
Yep.
that's what I was thinking. And then, so talk a little bit about if there is like, is there training that Disney has available to you? And talk about that a little bit. It may be what you've been through so far and what you've discovered.
So Disney has what they call the school Disney School of Knowledge, and it is what travel agents have to take if they want to specialize in that field. I could sell a Disney vacation without completing all those classes. However, I've completed them all. And I mean, and they hit on all of it. They hit on the riverboat cruises. They hit on, your regular cruises that people think about when they think about visiting the Caribbean or, things like that. They hit on the parks. They hit on Aulani, which is in Hawaii. Um, so so yeah, there's training that goes on, and like I said, it's always changing. Um, I just heard a few weeks ago that they are closing down the Carousel of Progress, and it is getting a complete refurb. So
Is that the Epcot?
no, that's in
Yeah,
Magic Kingdom. The
that's
Carousel
Magic
of
Kingdom.
Progress is in Magic Kingdom,
Oh,
yes.
okay,
And it's
okay.
getting a complete refurb. And I'm kind
Hmm.
of heartbroken about it, but
Oh, so living in Silver Dollar City territory here, it seems like other than the $500 million resort they're putting in right now, it seems like they invest maybe 20 million a year in new rides or new options, like the new Fire in the Hole or the Time
hmm
Traveler and
that was a
things that have
good one.
been in recent years. Yeah. How does Disney, do they show you how they progress? And I'm sure they have to renew things. How does that work with them?
Well, they're constantly changing things, like I said. They just opened up some new refurbished rides over the holiday that we just had, Memorial Holiday. And I mean, their marketing people are geniuses because I mean, you can't tell me they did not plan it to open it during that weekend.
Yeah.
And I had clients that were there. And I was kind of nervous because I knew it was going to bring in the crowds. But they just redid, oh gosh, Buzz Lightyear. They brought Bluey in, if you know what Bluey is.
I do. I
Were
do.
for the
Yes.
kids. They just opened up, I think it was Big Thunder Mountain Railway, I think is the name of that one. They just refurbed it. I mean, just all these different rides that were closed down. They decide to pick that time to open them all up again. They have a wall blocked off where we're getting a new Monsters Incorporated over in Animal Kingdom. They are doing Encanto over there. So they are building, I mean, just like crazy, um, which is exciting. It's exciting when they finally do get it all opened up. I'm excited to go and see it. They just redid Rock and Roller Coaster. It was Aerosmith, and now it's the Muppets. That just opened up during the Memorial Day holiday. So I mean, I haven't ridden it yet. I have my own opinion on why would you do that? Some people may like it. My opinion is how do you replace Aerosmith with the Muppets?
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's a that's a different thing, and I don't know that the current generation really. I mean, all that
they
stuff
don't
was
know who
more the older
Aerosmith is,
generation.
I don't
Yeah,
guess. Yeah,
yeah,
they're probably going to enjoy it a lot more than.
right. I, forever in my mind as a kid, it's a small, small world. Is always in my head because I mean, when you went around, is that still there or did they
Yes,
do
it is
that?
still there, and you either
Okay.
love it or you hate it. So I love it. I will always love it. My
It's very
husband,
cute.
my
It's
husband
very
does
cute.
not like it, but
Yeah.
but I think I look at it a little bit different than he does. He came into Disney as an adult. I came into it as a child, and some of those hold some childhood nostalgia. sentimental value that, and when I ride that, that's what I experience all over again. So I'm like, no, you don't understand. Small World's great, but
Yeah,
yeah, he
yeah.
doesn't like it.
Well, that's the whole thing is, you're creating memories, and a lot
Yes.
of times you're reviving memories, as a kid in those areas, and that's what Disney is so good at, right? When we're
Yes.
younger, there's movies that we grew up with, and then they revisit those or they redo those, and you're like, wow, that just takes me back. It just made me think about. I went to see Neil Diamond in concert one time, and he moved the audience so well. Now he's got Parkinson's, so he's not able to tour anymore. But he started playing a song, and it wasn't Sweet Caroline; it was some other song, and I think "Song Sung Blue" or something. And the whole audience just went, "Whoa!" And but that awe is that brings back what was going on in my life when I first heard that song or whatever, that type of
Yes.
thing. And that's really what Disney is
And
so
they're
good at.
good at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good at it. They go their smells that they incorporate into the parks and into the rides and into the resorts, and um, that's what it's meant to do. It is meant to get you hooked, so that way
Mm.
you keep coming back again and again and again, and it works. They've built a whole thing on it. So
Yeah, they did. And
their marketing people are geniuses.
they are. Because I mentioned to you 3 years ago, some 30-year-old friends of mine took me through 4 parks, and we walked, I think it was 16 miles that one day, and they're dragging me around, and I had bought I forget what they call it, but it's the drink package where you get. I'm a Diet Coke addict, right? So and they had those machines around, the fountain machines around. So I think they lost money on me that day. But those are, and it was always, it's hot, it's blacktop, that type of thing. So you're always thirsty and things like that. But and there's
Disney
so much
does give
walking,
you
right?
Disney does give you free water.
They do. Okay.
Yes. They understand it's hot. They don't want anybody passing out or having any
Right.
problems. So that is a good tip for people to know. I always recommend to go get the water at the little kiosks where they sell the soft drinks, because you are in Florida. You can get some really nasty, swampy smelling, gross water.
Really?
I
I
call
didn't know
I
that.
call it alligator swamp water. But
Well,
if you
yeah.
go to the kiosks where they sell the soft drinks, because Coca-Cola is so picky about what you mix their sodas with,
Filtration,
that
right?
they will have the good waters. Yep.
That's that's a good tip right off the bat. Is yes, absolutely do it that way, and that's why I bought that drink package. Part of that was just to keep me hydrated and going, and it worked because it was one of those times when it was very very hot, and you're walking on blacktop and that type of thing, and you're sweating and that, and so yeah, that's a great tip. As far as Disney overall, are they? You mentioned earlier that cruises are hot, and that's obviously a big deal. We live in Branson, which is another tourism area, or you live near here as well, and you know that we kind of compete with that a little bit in a sense because we have a different experience here. But so tourism is definitely up on the cruises. Are we seeing? I know there's like if you look at the concert tours, it's unbelievable. Everybody's out touring, so there's that going on. And then, are you seeing in the parks? Are they seeing an uptick in attendance, or is it kind of flat, or what are they seeing as an
It
industry?
the I'm noticing in the parks it's kind of dropped.
Okay,
Um,
okay,
honestly, I kind of feel like I mean, it's been a while to think 2020
yeah,
um has been
yeah,
that long ago. But right after COVID and right after everything opened up again, it's like everybody was doing their revenge vacations. And it was so busy. The parks were so busy. And I'm going to say probably the last couple of years, the last 2 or 3 years, it has started to drop a little bit. There's still people going, obviously, but the wait times they've improved. They have actually gotten better, which is, I mean, it's nice if you're going. You might not have to spend extra on that lightning lane multipass, whereas before that, it was definitely a necessity, or you were gonna spend your whole time waiting hours in line. But yeah, it's kind of slowing down at the parks. So,
Definitely. And when we went 3 years ago, the first ride we went and waited for was the Star Wars ride. And
yeah,
what a fantastic ride that is.
yes,
That is
it
amazing.
is. It is
Oh
awesome.
my gosh.
I'm not
Yeah.
even a Star Wars fan, and I mean, you don't have
Yeah.
to be to appreciate that. It's awesome.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
no track.
No.
The car moves on some type of a magnetic thing in the floor. It knows where to go, and you've got is it R2D2 that's up in the front? I think
Yes.
directing the car, and
Directing
all this stuff's
everything.
happening
Yes.
around you. It's
And it
absolutely
looks
amazing.
and it looks like they're really there. Like I
Yeah.
can remember when I first went on that ride and you see the stormtroopers out
Yes.
there and you're like, "Oh my gosh. There
It's a little
are those
scary.
pe- are those people in there?" And then you realize no, they're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is amazing how they're able to do that. And the animatronics, it looks like they have actors that are acting all that out, and it's not, it's animatronics.
Yep. And there's
It is,
pyrotechnics with it, and there's
yep,
all kinds of things
yeah,
going on, and
yeah.
it was fascinating. We waited an hour and a half for that one because I think if you think about the complexity of that ride, it broke down at the time we were there, and so
It
you know,
still does. Yeah,
yeah, it's an extremely
yeah. It's
complex
just,
ride.
yep.
So we did, and then we went over to. I remember riding Tron. It started to rain, so they shut it down for a little while, and then we got to go on. Tron was a lot of fun on that roller coaster. I'm a big roller coaster fan.
I am too. We hit up
Yeah,
the roller coasters first, and
yep.
um, we
It,
usually will invest in the lightning lane and the multi-paths when we go, just so that way we have that insurance
to get
that
there.
you are going to be able and I don't like waiting in line. So, yeah.
I didn't either, although the people I was with, it was very enjoyable to,
Yes, yeah.
kind of converse
At,
with
at
them,
at
etc.
some point you're gonna have to wait in line. It's just what it
Yes,
is. Even on the slower days, you're gonna have to wait in line. But if I can avoid it, I will. So,
right. Absolutely,
so what is your
absolutely.
favorite ride? Do you have
I
one?
would say Star Wars was just because of how immersive it was. I mean, I like Space Mountain. I like the Epcot, experience. Small World. I mean, there's just all those various things that you're experiencing. But the Star Wars was just so immersive and so technically well done that it was so impressive. You know what I'm saying?
What'd you think of Guardians? Did you ride that? Guardians of the
Yeah, yeah, I
Galaxy?
thought that was good. And then
Yeah.
is that there was another one, and I can't remember what it was. And it's a roller coaster, and you all of a sudden you drop through the floor kind of thing, and then it goes
Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror. Yeah, and that
That
one.
one's at Hollywood Studios. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was something else to do that one. And I think if I remember right, that one went backwards. And if you take me on a roller coaster backwards, I have to close my eyes and just hope for the best because that gets me really disoriented going backwards on there. I don't mind doing loops and upside down and all that kind of stuff, but you start pulling that car backwards, and I'm like, oh boy. I think it takes me back to when we had a Rambler back in the 60s, and you remember the seat that sat in the back? I don't know if you remember that, but it would face out the back window, and you'd be driving
Oh,
backwards, and that always was
yeah.
always weird to me. but that's where my parents threw me all the time in the back of the car. So, but yeah,
So
that
that
was
one that's
probably
over
the,
at Animal Kingdom with the Yeti,
oh
that
yeah.
that one's an out and in, and that one will go backwards.
Yes,
So
yes. I remember the first time this was at Knott's Berry Farm. I went to, I don't even know if it's there anymore. It was called Montezuma's Revenge. Did you ever go on that? And all it was it was a big U shape with a loop in the middle, and they shot you out up the one side, then you went down around the loop, back up the other side, and you kind of went back and forth. And that got me, and I've done so many different things, skydiving and everything, but that was it
wow,
just threw me
skydiving.
off. Yeah.
Skydiving that you can't go backwards on a roller coaster.
No, well, it's just weird. It's just a different
Yeah.
experience, right?
Mm.
As far as your body's concerned to that. So that's definitely. So let's talk about like if somebody wanted to budget for this, and obviously there's a scale of things you could spend on it, but if you had, let's say, give maybe some ideas of some recent bookings of, the cost that might be involved per person or whatever that might look like.
Well, it really depends on time of year as far as cost.
Okay.
Obviously, the summer months are going to be more expensive than the off season, which, around August, September, October, when the kids go back to school. However, Disney does make it easy for you to try to budget for it, which is one thing that I love that they do. So you can put $200 down, and as long as it is paid off 30 days from the time that you plan on going, you're good to go. And you don't have to make a payment in between there. It's probably best that you do, but they don't put you on this type of payment plan where they say, okay, your payment's due at the first of every month. You just have to have it paid off by the time you go. I'm going to probably guess for a family of four going to Disney, staying at a Value or one of their Good Neighbor resorts. Let's say going for 7 days, 4 day pass is going to run you between 3,500 to probably $4,000.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's going to be staying at a Value or a Good Neighbor. A Good Neighbor, you could probably get away with it just a little bit cheaper. Um, you can go all the way up though to some crazy numbers.
Yeah, I
You can
bet.
go all the way up to deluxe villa, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. Um, I I've booked them. I've booked a multi-generation in a 2 bedroom villa in the beach club. So they had an amazing time.
Yeah.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, really,
yeah.
in that
I
world.
mean, I've stayed value. I've stayed deluxe. Deluxe kind of spoils you.
I bet.
I'm
I
not
bet.
gonna lie, but
Well, that's good to know. And then, so okay, it's seasonal somewhat in the pricing, obviously,
yeah.
similar to what
And
we
they do
experienced
run
here.
like right now. I think they're running a 30% off. So they do run specials. And another great thing is what I try to do for my clients, if I can, if they book and Disney's not running a special at that time, they'll let you have that special when
When it
they're
comes
running
back
it.
up,
Yeah. Now they're not going to go out of their way
sure.
to put that on there, but what you hire the travel agent for is they're keeping up with it. And then they're making the calls to Disney and saying, hey, I've got a family of four. They're staying at such and such resort. I've noticed you're running a 30% special. Do they qualify for that? And they'll let you know, and you can get in on that special.
Yeah, that's really neat. And so, Angela, what are you finding? Okay, so all the information is out there. I could go on Expedia and book, I could book a cruise with Disney, probably, right, on Expedia or something, right, and all that. It's very similar in like the real estate industry. All the houses are out there and everything. So are you finding that people are going out and kind of discovering some things they'd like to do and then they bring them to you, or do they just go, "Hey, Angela, we need to go in December. We need to go for my son's wedding to Orlando. Can you book it for us?" What do you find is most common?
So far, I've had some that have booked with me, but like you said, Expedia offers things like that. Costco offers things like that. This might sound rude, but Costco also sells toilet paper.
Yeah,
So
yeah, right, right.
what you hire a travel agent for is that we're going to be there whenever, let's say, a plane gets delayed, and then you're going to miss your next flight. That's when you need your travel agent. Or
Absolutely.
let's say all, Disney's always changing. They're going to help you the best that they can, or at least I will, on helping you book your lightning lane or multi-pass and teach you how do you navigate the parks and which are the most popular rides and how long are the wait times on those. Some of your rides, let's say like Haunted Mansion, they can get like an hour wait, but you don't necessarily have to waste a lightning lane on it because it's going to go down to 15-minute wait
Yeah,
sometime during the day just
sure.
because of the way that ride is set up. So good luck if you go to Expedia or Costco. You're
Yes.
not going to have somebody there. Or God forbid another 2020 happens. Hopefully not. All those people that lost their vacations, they're the ones that are having to sit on the phone for hours with an automated,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas you don't have to do that because you hired me and that's what I'm for. Booking your dining plans. A lot of those restaurants, if you want Cinderella's Royal Table, you got to get up early in the morning. It gets booked out that fast. And so 6 o'clock, I think Orlando time is like 5 o'clock our time. I do believe I've been
Yep,
up
it
more than
is.
once.
Yep.
And my last family that just went wanted Cinderella's Royal Table. And by the time I was able to get on the phone because her app was messing up. So in this instance, I had to get on the phone with Disney. I couldn't go through her app. But by the time I got on the phone with them, Cinderella's Royal Table on the day she wanted it was gone. However, I know, isn't that crazy? It was
Yeah. Yeah.
gone within just a few minutes on
Wow.
that day. So I had to make a decision, a split decision, and I went ahead and booked it for her on a different day. So that way she had it. And I thought, okay, if she doesn't want it this way, we can always cancel it and move things around. But
Yeah.
she wanted it. So um she went with it. But that's the advantages of having a travel agent.
Yeah.
So
I mean, honestly, as far as I know, there's no additional cost to have you work for them,
nope,
is there?
no, there's no additional cost at all.
That's
And
really
I
nice.
don't think people realize that we don't get paid until the trip's done.
Yeah,
So
that
if
you guys are booking stuff way out into 2028 or
you're working for the
2027 and yeah.
future,
Yeah.
yes. So, yeah, you get paid after they take the trip and after they come home.
Got it.
So
Got
in
it.
the
Yeah.
meantime, you're doing it
Yeah. Yeah,
all of that
exactly.
stuff
And that's
for maybe a year out. You'll see the commission. So I really think that the travel agent industry is for people that really truly, for me anyway, they have a passion for it. And what's more important to me than the commission is that my families have a good time, that they make good memories. So I actually stress just a little bit when my families are out because I want them to have a good time so bad that in the back of my mind it's like, well, what if they don't like Disney? What if this goes wrong? What if this happens? So yeah, so I'm sitting there.
you're more stressed than they are, huh? Okay.
Probably, but that's my job too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm watching their flights on my phone,
Oh,
making sure that they got to where they needed to be. And yeah, it's there's a lot of work involved for sure.
do you have any like as a certified Disney specialist? Do you have any? Is there particular access to, like you talked about watching a trip or something? Do they give you? Is there special access on the software or AI tools or something that you can kind of watch what's going on or monitor things at all? Not at all, huh?
No,
Okay.
once they're in the park, nope, not. I can watch them on the plane, like I can watch that little plane and move and
Yeah.
tell you where they are in the sky. But
Okay.
once they land and I have no idea where they're at that point, which is why some travel agents will book their lightning lanes for them. I don't do that. I will educate them on how to book those. But I don't book those for them. And the reason why is because I don't know where they're at in the park. And even if they tell me, I don't know at that point what their plan is. And so I might see a lightning lane pop up. I can tell them, hey, I see one. If you want it, you can snag it. But since I don't know where they're at in the parks, I don't want to schedule that for them. And then they're like, no, we're having lunch or we've got something else going on during that time.
Sure.
But you
Sure.
can find travel agents that will do that.
That's fantastic. And by the way, for the folks that are viewing this, they don't have to be in Missouri. They can be anywhere in the country and book with you. So it doesn't matter, and they can harness your passion for this no matter where they live, right? So it doesn't matter.
Right. No, it doesn't matter.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, in closing, is there anything that we didn't cover that you really would love to talk about in your business?
I think we covered just about all of it. We covered the parks, we covered the rides, and I can't think of anything really. Um,
That's okay. All right. Well, fantastic. So, all right. Well, if you want to book some travel to Disney, how can they get a hold of you? Should they call you, text you, get to your website? What's the best way for them to
I
start?
have a Facebook right now, and it is called Wish Upon a Journey Travel.
Okay.
I am getting ready to get a website together. Um, Ken is actually going to work on that for
Yeah.
me.
Very good.
Yes. For now, they can get a hold of me on my Facebook page.
Okay.
So yeah,
So give it to us one more time.
Wish Upon a Journey Travel.
Wish upon a journey travel. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, Angela, it has been a wonderful pleasure to have you on with us today. So excited to see your business grow and get your referrals for Disney travel in particular on this. So thanks again for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.